Hi, this is Glenda. Next Paper Mates is going to be at my place, and we're going to do scenic cards, and basically my daughter's going to show us how to do them, but I thought I'd do some practice ones and have a card or two that people can do as well. So I've been doing different attempts trying to refine it, so I thought I'll have another go and show you the process of making this card. I'm going to try and remember to flip the video so it'll be up the right way for you. So I've got to remember not to do this all the time to show you the right way up, because then it'll be upside down. So I'll put my sample to the side so I can remember what I'm going to do, because if anybody has a brilliant suggestion for this little one where the birds are upside down, I'm guessing it's an embellishment opportunity, but anyway, see if I can do it without doing anything upside down. So start off with a piece of card. This is just very ordinary. It's about 110, maybe 115 GSM, and I just find it's quite nice to work on. I tried using watercolour paper and I didn't like the results I was getting. So then we're going to tear a piece of paper in half, and you don't want massive Alps in it, but you want some undulations to make some hills. And repositionable tape, which I had a minute ago. I'm hoping this won't take too long, that it bores everybody senseless. But if nothing else, it's good practice for me, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I don't know why I took the sponge off that one. This is tumbled glass. We're just going to sponge it on. And it doesn't have to be too perfect. If you find you've got too many blobs, you can spray it with water and then it will react and move a bit. But if you do, like I ended up with, now which one was it? Oh, it was this one. I ended up with extra trees on my hill because I did my blue, then I did my green, then I spritzed it, and of course my green oozed up the top. So don't do that. That's why I'm practicing. So remove the mask, and you can save that for the next one. Take the other half of your mask, and this time we're going to cover the sky, and in theory it should match up, and I usually leave a little bit of the sky showing so that I don't end up with a line, and it'll sort of blend in together, but it doesn't always like to stick to the still wet damp ink. You can dry it in between, but so then I had a lightish green. This is Shabby Shutters, and again we're just going to sponge it on roughly. Obviously you can sponge it on not roughly and get it looking really good, but that's not me. The lighter you sponge, the gentler and smoother it's going to be. But I like a little bit of gradation in the grasses and things, so this is fine for me. Then you can come in with a slightly darker colour, like peeled paint. Actually, I'll have to move the camera to do that, so I won't do that. And just put a little bit of darker along the mountains on the top there. And then I am going to take some Distress Stain Picket Fence, which is what I decided is my preferred cloud method, and I did a separate video on clouds a little while back. You just dab some around, and magically you've got clouds in the sky. If you start getting sort of bits that look too much like circles, just go over them a bit, bring them down a bit. I was looking at the sky the other day and it had these sort of stripes of cloud just like this across it. I don't know if our clouds look different in Australia, but they're the only ones I know. So, liberal dabbing of clouds. Then I have got a grass stamp, and I don't have a really good green for this, so I'm making do with the green that I do have. This is one of my very first stamps I got. It doesn't have a brand, or stamp pads rather, doesn't have any kind of brand on it, but it's green. And I think that's from a Heartfelt Creations set, but basically there's all sorts of grass stamps out there. And then I have got two trees, and I will grab my brown VersaFine for this. I'm going to ink up the biggest, stamp it over here. It's a very Aussie gum tree, this one. And this one's more of a cherry blossom, and it's smaller, so we'll put a bit further back. And for the front I have a kangaroo, because it was the only stamp I had that seemed to be remotely suitable for this card. This is just not my go-to style of card, and yet amazingly I end up doing them a lot. I have no idea why. Circumstances, it seems. So this is an Inktense pencil, which I'm seriously considering cutting in half so that I will have two of them, because I don't know how we're going to cater for everybody. And I'm just going to roughly put some on the trunk. Tree, paper there. It's ages since I've done any punching, but no, the paper lingers on in the room, doesn't it? My kangaroo. And yes, I could have stamped him and masked him, and there's all sorts of things I could have done here, but this seems to be working for me, and it's quick and easy, and that's what I'm doing. Now, water brush. Actually, with hindsight, I should have dried this off first, because where the picket fence is, my tree's getting a bit washed out there. I think I did dry them on the other ones. That was a day ago, and I thought I was going to make the video straight away, and life gets in the way and I didn't do it. I love my Inktense pencils. They just cover so well. And you can just start touching it up, taking some more colour. I hope I've already said I am not an expert in this under any stretch of the imagination. I did go outside the lines. I think other people who do that say that's okay, it's the watercolour look. And for the leaves, I'm just going to use the forest moss, put it on my block, pick it up, just roughly colour these in. For those who don't know, gum trees are pretty scraggly. Very forgiving. They do look a little bit better as they dry. She says hopefully. I'm sure they do. Wipe that off before I put my arm in it. Now for the other tree, I'm just going to use a marker, dab some little leaves. Randomly. And I've got a pink gel sparkly marker. I'm just going to sparkle my blossoms on here. And I am going to get my black ink pad and find my bird stamp, which you will note I now have an arrow on, so that I will not hopefully stamp it upside down again. And I have a hooroo, which is pretty Aussie to go with my kangaroo. And I've been putting that in a different spot every time according to where I seem to have a gap, which I've left one step out. I'll hold off on that. I've got a reedy grassy stamp, which I think is a Stampscape one, and I'm just going to put some darker bits down here. That. Then I'll stamp my hooroo. Now where am I going to put it? Probably up here. And then I'm just going to trim down my card. Paper's just a fraction bigger than it needs to be, so we'll take it off. Oh, it's quite a bit bigger. Okay, we'll take it off here, and a bit off here. I will be distressing the edges now because I didn't dry this, and of course I've shredded it. Okay, so I will quickly dry that before I do anything else stupid. step is, no, not that one, pumice stone, and I'm just going to, oh, I don't know why I've taken all the things off. Oh, I know why, because my granddaughter came over and took over my desk. Okay, so I think that's done. I'm going to mount that on a card base and call it finished. What I've done on some of them was emboss them before I coloured them, which makes it a bit stronger, but I'm still deciding which way I prefer to have it. See, I mean, this one is clearly embossed, and this is the other one that isn't. I embossed both the trees and the kangaroo. I even did the hooroo on that one. So hopefully that will help me when we have our group, and it might help some of the people who are coming, and it might not. And thanks for watching.